Bafana Bafana may face serious consequences after Mokwena's suspension blunder. South Africa's World Cup qualification campaign is facing a major crisis after a significant error regarding midfielder Teboho Mokwena's suspension during Bafana Bafana's 2-0 win over Lesotho on Friday. Mokwena, who had accumulated 2 yellow cards in previous 2026 World Cup qualifiers, was ineligible to play, yet featured in the match. This mistake has raised serious concerns that South Africa could be sanctioned by FIFA, potentially jeopardizing their World Cup hopes. The blunder. Mokwena's ineligibility. Mokwena, who plays for Mamelodi Sundowns, had already received 2 yellow cards in the previous World Cup qualifying matches. One in the 2-1 victory against Benin in November 2023, and another in the 3-1 win over Zimbabwe in June 2024. Under FIFA's regulations, a player who receives 2 yellow cards in separate matches is automatically suspended for the next qualifying match. Therefore, Mokwena should not have been on the pitch for Bafana Bafana's clash against Lesotho. However, despite this, the midfielder was included in the starting lineup, and the oversight went unnoticed during the match. This error could now come back to haunt South Africa, as Lesotho, the opposing team, failed to report the incident within the required time frame. The deadline. Could FIFA sanction South Africa? Under FIFA regulations, if a player is fielded in an ineligible manner, the opposing team, in this case Lesotho, is required to report the error within 2 hours of the match. If this is not done within a further 24-hour period, no formal action can be taken. But if the oversight is reported unproven, FIFA can impose sanctions, including the potential for points deduction or even a forfeit of the match. This could have disastrous consequences for South Africa, who are currently leading African World Cup qualifying Group C with 10 points, just 2 ahead of Benin. Any loss of points could see Benin leapfrog them into first place, while Nigeria, who are still a major threat in the group, would also benefit. The panic Safa's immediate concern. As soon as the South African Football Association, Safa, became aware of the suspension mistake, they were thrown into a panic. With the stakes so high in the qualifying campaign, any penalty from FIFA could derail Bafana Bafana's hopes of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. The team was already dealing with the pressure of competing against Benin and Nigeria, and a points deduction could have seen them lose their top spot in the group. Safa officials urgently looked into the matter, trying to determine the extent of the mistake and whether Lesotho had filed any formal report. If the error had been flagged by the opposing team, the consequences could be severe for South Africa. Lesotho's failure to report, could they be saved? As the situation developed, it became clear that Lesotho had failed to report the error within the required time frame. They had the opportunity to notify FIFA and the match commissioner within 2 hours of the final whistle, and there was also a 24-hour window to submit a complaint. However, the deadline passed without any report from Lesotho. This lapse in procedure may give South Africa some temporary relief. If no formal complaint is made, FIFA may not take any action. However, Safa cannot breathe easy just yet. The issue remains under scrutiny, and there is still the possibility that the governing bodies could review the situation and impose sanctions, especially if the mistake is deemed a serious breach of FIFA's regulations. Moving forward, the pressure builds for Bafana. While the immediate danger of a formal complaint from Lesotho may have passed, Bafana Bafana's World Cup campaign is still far from secure. The team now faces a crucial match against Benin on Tuesday in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. Mokoena will miss the game due to his suspension, and South Africa's chances of securing a win may be further complicated by the ongoing fallout from this blunder. Bafana Bafana's coach, Hugo Bros, has already made it clear that every match is critical, especially with the tight nature of Group C. A loss to Benin would allow their rivals to take the lead in the group, and Nigeria could close the gap further, putting pressure on South Africa's remaining fixtures. The stakes are high, and the spectre of this suspension era could linger as Bafana Bafana head into what is arguably the most important phase of their World Cup qualification campaign. Conclusion: a critical turning point. With the pressure mounting, Bafana Bafana will have to keep their focus on the pitch as they attempt to secure their spot in the 2026 World Cup. The road ahead is treacherous, and the potential for sanctions looms over them like a dark cloud. For South Africa, the fallout from this mistake could still haunt them, but for now, they must concentrate on winning their remaining matches.